tip here. Let's see, the tip has got a little chip
out
of it. That thing's been used.
Yeah.
It's got a story to tell, I think, a great one. Anyway.
Hey y'all, in the following video, it's got a very interesting story that goes with it. I was out at one of the places where we set up, where I met a retired sheriff from Bexar County, and he brought me a rusty old bayonet that he had in a toolbox in his garage. He inherited it from his father, and so asked me to sharpen it, and of course I was honored to do it. So in the process of doing it, I learned a lot. The bayonet told a really fascinating story, at least it was to me, and I want to share it with y'all. So, you know, a couple days ago, I put this old K-bar bayonet knife in the vinegar, and it's been soaking since then. I've got some gloves, keep my hands clean, because it's going to be black in there. There's all that stuff that was been accumulating on it over the years is now going to come off. And get some emitter light here. So yeah, this vinegar's just plumb black. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's working. So pretty soon it's going to be just like it was when it was new. Just a little scrubbing here. See, I'm getting all that off. It's all coming off. When I was putting it in the solution, this vinegar solution, I noticed that something was floating to the top. Now, rust doesn't float, so, you know, it was a fascinating color. And this man was a hero. He was a Marine in World War II in the South Pacific. So this weird color that was floating to the top, what it told me is that the bayonet was used in close quarter combat. And obviously he prevailed. And so that was more than likely blood that floated to the top, which was kind of sad, but it was fascinating. And I kept working on it. And I got it back to a good quality looking blade. Yes, sir. That's going to do it. I'm going to rinse it off. Get all that crap off there. That's as much as I can get off it. It isn't going to do any better than that, but it's starting to look really good. I'll buff it out on my wheel. I'll show y'all while I'm doing it. So I've been working on this. This is a World War II actual bayonet K-bar, and I soaked it in vinegar and got the patina off, and it came back with a coat like this. But you can see the stories that this has had to tell. There is a little weld here that looks like that they got it back together. You know, you can tell that whoever had it used it. This is an actual workable knife, and then he's got a little chip in the front of it here. So this guy was he was a battling guy. Very interesting. Anyway, I've been working on this side of it to try to smooth it out a little bit. I wish I could get it all looking like this. Well, I kind of do, but I'm going to take this side right here and clean it up right now. I'm going to just use a deburring wheel, and then after I'm done with it, I'll sharpen it, and it'll have a really good edge. It'd be as good as new, and in terms of battle ready. But this thing's a piece of gold. It's absolutely fabulous. I'm so fortunate to be able to sharpen it for the guy. A hero's bayonet. So you watch what I do here. Take this. You know.
Pretty good.
Rust doesn't float, so when I had it in the vinegar, some stuff that floated to the top was certainly very dark reddish color, so left me to assume that it saved that man's life. Anyway, we're going to video Don, my customer, whose father was the original owner of this bayonet and then used it in the Marine Corps in World War II in the South Pacific. Okay, y'all, so I've got my customer coming over to pick up this bayonet. It was his dad's bayonet. I've got it displayed like this, and the stories that this can tell, if you look, there's a little chip right here in the end, a little nick in it. See if I can get that right. You see that little nick right there? And I restored it. You know, it was rusty and beat up, but the stories that this told me while I was doing this were just amazing, and I'm going to share it all with you, and the customer's reaction when I bring him in to look at it. It's going to be quite emotional for both of us, because it was my honor to be allowed to do the restoration on this to the best of my ability. Hello, Sharpness, my old friend. And then the sheath was made by my friend Gary Eichen, who lives in Oklahoma. I went to high school with him. He does really amazing leather craft. He did this, and then he put in it Lefty. See this here? Lefty, can you see it? Let's see if I can get a close-up on it. But he put that name in there, and then look at the stitching on this. Hey, Mr. Don. Good, how are you? Nice truck.
Thank you. This used to be my district before your house was here.
Really?
Yeah.
Please come in. So the stories this tells, see there's a nick in there.
Yeah.
And when I soaked this in vinegar, it was deeply pitted. I got it as smooth as I possibly could. But the stories this knife tells, and it's razor sharp. And I did the handle.
Wow.
Mink oil. Anyway, and then this is the sheath that Gary did.
Look at that.
It fits perfectly. And he tried to fashion it as close as he could to the originals. There's a guy I went to high school with, and he lives in Oklahoma now. I want you to take his card.
Sure.
But anyway, so
Thank you.
you could see how it was made, that little weld there, or maybe it was a field operation. I don't know. It looks pretty professional.
Did it have a serial number on it?
I didn't find one.
Okay.
But you know it was the real deal. But here's the thing that really amazed me. So when I soaked it in vinegar, rust don't float. So what floated on the top looked like blood. So I think he used it, and
I know he did.
he was an incredible soldier. And this thing filled me with so much emotion. It was my pleasure.
They killed his best friend. They tortured him to death.
Oh my gosh.
And so the CO had asked him and a group of guys to go get some prisoners
for interrogation. Well, they found a couple of, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 prisoners. And they had them tied with ropes like this. They were marching them back to the camp. And my father was thinking about his best friend. He told his buddies to stand back. I said, okay, we're going around a bend. Stand back. All I heard, they were just yelling, he was stabbing them with that thing.
Yeah.
Because they're all tied up.
Well,
So
I found the blood.
Oh, you did?
I did. I found the blood.
You get
floated.
DNA on it?
It floated on the top, and I
Okay.
didn't video it because I think YouTube will probably, but you know, rust don't float.
Yeah, right.
And it was just, I mean, I might have took a picture, but I was just sat there going, holy fuck, this is precious. So here, my friend, I don't think you owe me a dime for it.
Well, I tell you what, I had something for you. That's yours.
Oh my
for
gosh.
you.
Okay. Well, I'm not even
And,
going to look, but thank you so much. It was an honor, truly. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you know, the amazing thing is Gary's dad was a Marine in the South Pacific. My dad was, and your dad was.
was too.
So the 3 of us getting together late in life. Anyway, it turned out that Gary Eiken's father was also a Marine in the South Pacific during World War II, as my father was a Marine in the South Pacific during World War II. So it was fascinating to me all the way around, the story that the knife told, the bayonet told, and that the offspring of 3 heroes from Marines in the South Pacific during World War II came together in a coalition to restore this beautiful, wonderful piece of history and return it to my customer. His father called him Lefty, so Gary tooled in Lefty in the sheath. And if you all have something similar that you'd like us to restore, clean up, sharpen, please get a hold of us at hellosharpnesstexas.com or call me. I'm easy to get a hold of, and I would love to take care of something that you would like restored. We'd really like that a lot. Anyway, y'all, be blessed. Leave a comment, share, and have a good day.